Here you see a plate and water runs down, and look at the ripples here the water makes. And very stable, like with the funnel. We have very stable forms created by running water. And after a while, this water will start meandering, because water doesn't want to flow in straight lines. And it's pulsating.
Amazing.
And interesting is, for example, here, that there are waves in different directions, but they don't interfere, they don't interact. They move through the other waves. If you throw two stones into a lake, for example, you get concentric circles, and they wander through each other. They do not interfere with the others. You throw into the water the stones, and the circles go this and this, and walk and walk and walk. So that's different to sound. You may have a sinus wave, and you can quasi delete.
Yeah, you delete each other. Yeah.
Each other. There is an explanation, of course, because sound is transported with moving the particles further on, like with pressure. And here this is a floating form. So there's many mysteries about sound,
yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
And there is mysteries about flowing water.
Yeah. So you couldn't make two water streams meet each other and then make silent water?
No, that all the waves are gone.
Yeah.
Very hardly.
Yeah, yeah.
Rumble brown and whispering, dry leaves are leaving silently, accepting folly, destiny, drifting far away from home.
One of the findings of my grandfather Victor was, do not straighten river, let them meander, and do not build walls on the periphery, on the banks. Put some stones in the river and it will change its flow pattern, and yet you can create a flow in the center of the stream and not forces that work against the banks. So if you restore a river, you have to try to bring back this meandering movement, and that you bring back sound to the water. Because when you have a channel, a canal, where the water runs silently, or more or less silently, very tired of running, and then you put in some stones and let the water meander, then it begins to sing, it begins to make noise, etc., etc. And you may be familiar that different waters show different colors of light, also in water. You may help the water to restore its energy by adding sound. And the sound of a waterfall, of a cascade, helps the water to be newborn, so to say. If you look at a waterfall, you have the so-called white noise, where there is every frequency in this sound you hear at the waterfall. That means the water creates all frequencies that are possible, and the water is new again. So there is the saying of one of the great composers. He went to a waterfall and he came back home and wrote down tones he found in the waterfall. The water was telling him melodies and he wrote them down. It's like the sculpture who has this piece of stone, and then you have a statue when he's finished his work, and people ask, how did you make this wonderful statue? Yeah, I took all the things away that were not needed for the statue. It was already in the rock.
Beautiful.
When we talk about energy and water, there are several examples where you can feel this energy. For example, if you drink water from a spring in the mountains in the Alps, you feel that this water makes you much stronger than, let's say, out of a plastic bottle, water that stood for weeks somewhere stored in the sun or so. Then there is very popular within the German-speaking countries is Pfarrer Kneipp, a priest. Some 100 years ago, he said to the people, take cold showers, or you have a special treatment for different diseases with water, especially with cold water. Or you can find many places in Austria and Germany where there are little pools with a gangway. You walk through cold water. And there is also the example of the dew drops in the morning on the grass. There is this little tiny drops that come out of nowhere, so to say. And Victor Schauberger, my grandfather, referred to Pfarrer Kneipp, Sebastian Kneipp, and also to another guy called Priesnitz. And Victor said, this is the best example to show how nature collects during night energy in these little dewdrops. And if you walk barefoot through the meadow, you can get this energy into your body. And it makes you energized.
Your water is my water, our water is their water, her water and his. My water is your water is my water, our water is their water, her water and his.
Bless the eternal